Hi there. My name is John Stevens, pastor of Zion Lutheran Church in Oregon City, Oregon, and we are part of the ELCA. And welcome to Dollar Store Children's Sermons, where I take a look at the lectionary text and I tie it to an item from the Dollar Tree or the junk drawer or the kids' room or the garage. That is how I've been doing it. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of your week with me in this way. Thank you for your partnership in this ministry, and most importantly, thank you for the love that you're sharing with your kids and your congregations and your families. You, my friend, are rocking it. All right, commercial announcement, Advent devotional. I wrote an Advent devotional. If you're looking for something to walk through Advent personally, I'm offering, if you donate something to the Dollar Store Children's Sermon, I'll send you the PDF of the devotional for free. Well, as a thank you for the donation to the Dollar Store Children's Sermon. If your congregation is moving from the narrative lectionary to the revised common lectionary for Advent, consider Brad Dawkin and Western North Dakota crew put together some worship helps and midweek service kind of things using my devotional as the springboard. And then also I have licensing that if you wanted to use the PDF for the entire congregation, you can send me and ask me what that looks like. I've got a link on my coffee website where you can get that, but reach out. Or if you would just want to use it for your personal use, the donation, I'll send you a copy of the PDF, and that's good for you to use in your own personal journey this Advent. Anyway, but thank you. Thank you for the work you're doing. Thank you, especially in this time where you've got people, well-meaning, loving people that we love dearly on both sides of the, I won't even say aisle, both sides of the pulpit going, Pastor, you're preaching too much politics. The other side, Pastor, you need to preach more politics. Both back and forth. And we are called to be political from the pulpit, not partisan, but that struggle. I feel you, and I'm praying for you. Know my heart goes out. So this is, but moving on, this is for the narrative lectionary. If I didn't say that early on, you probably figured it out by now, and maybe because of the title of the video. I don't know. Go figure. So we're looking at Isaiah for this Sunday, and it's kind of like, I don't want. What comes to my mind is a couple of things: foretaste of the feast to come, a commercial for a movie that's coming up. I mean, that's prophecy, and we have in here. And so we could look at the Isaiah text as a foreshadowing of Jesus, as the titles in this text get used in Jesus. And I'm looking at, because we're moving in to the end of the church year, we're moving into where Advent starts, and the narrative year moves to the next one, and all of these ups and downs. And in this text, we have kind of not future tripping, but we've got in this text that for us walking this journey, we see this taking place and coming to fruition. Maybe that might be right. We see these titles found in Jesus Christ, and as we hear in Luke and Matthew. So, but leaning into that, I'm looking at that change now. I talked about this in the Revised Common Lectionary. In both texts, I mean, both lectionary readings has us moving. We're in the end times of the year, so the texts kind of get they get really funky for doing a children's sermon. So I am looking at the change of how it's much darker now than it was 2 weeks ago. Now, last week we had the time change, and so way back, way back, a week and a half ago, it was an hour difference. And now we can tell that hour difference because it's getting darker at like 3:30 in the afternoon. That might be an extreme, but it feels like it. Yesterday, both my wife and I were like, oh, you've probably been there. I can't say you have been there, but you probably have been there, where it's like, oh, it's so late. Oh, hey, it's 5:30. I'm going to call it to bed so I can have breakfast at midnight. Something like that. So this idea that my squirrels are going off, but it is that I'm looking at that difference, that change. And the reason I'm looking at that is because the God of our world, the God of our hearts, the God of our salvation, that God loved us as much when the time read this, and as today when the sun sets earlier, or at least according to our clock. So we have that difference where we can go, things are different. I don't know what's going on. It's so dark in here. Oh, I don't know. And we can question the God of ours when we look around and we see things happening and we're like, I don't know what's going on. It's important to remember that our God loves us the same today as God loved us yesterday, and God will love us into the future. That love of God is secure. And so looking at the change, and there's changes around us, the kids around us are experiencing changes. You could even bring up, so what's one change? What's one difference? What's something in your family that is, some of our kids have a brother that's gone off to college. Some of ours has a sister that has, a brother that just got married and a sister that went off to college. All of these things where there's changes that are happening, and all of this, in all of the changes, however this works, the common denominator, the underlying thing of all this that brings us from point A to point B to point C, is that we have a God that loves and adores us. And I don't know if our kids hear it enough that we have a God that adores you. We have a God that loves you so much. We can use the God adores you. And that is an amazing thing to me, especially as we move through all of these times where and we always have all of those times. And we have a God that holds us, and that love is for sure. So so I'm leaning into whether it be a cell phone and go, I want to tell you an amazing thing that happened. I went to bed a week and a half ago, and my time said this. It said, my time said 10 o'clock. And I woke up, and my clock said 9 o'clock. Oh, yes, it was a couple hours later, but my clock changed. You could even use that without even, I'm realizing you could use that without even the daylight savings time. I had my watch, I had my clock. It says 8:39 because I'm recording this at 8:39 in the morning. But you know what? There's something, I got to tell you something that's really, really, it's worrisome. I don't know how to deal with this, and I'm talking long enough so my clock can change to 8:40. And when you do this, sometimes a minute can seem like the longest time. I have a little button back there that's called 30-second dance party, and when I click it, and it's this German 30-second dance party with 80% more German. That is their commercial, if you will. And you hit it, and it goes 30-second dance party, and you start dancing and all that, and that 30 seconds feels like forever. Like this minute that I'm talking, it still has not changed. So we've got the 8:39. Oh, wait a minute. It changed. It was 8:39, but now it's 8:40. Wait a minute. Something doesn't seem right here. Well, that's not right. Silliness about the 8:39 switching to 8:40, and the kids are like, pastor or our youth leader has lost it, which that's not the first time I've been accused of that. But in that, we talk about how that changed. Like, I don't know what to do with this. And it's a small way of saying things do change, but the thing that stays the same is God's love for us. And we get that promise, that foretaste, not only in the promise that we read in the scriptures of Jesus is the Prince of Peace, but also at the table when we receive communion, when we receive that meal, we are reminded and we are assured that God loves us. All right, there we are. That's what I got. Thank you so much for being here. I'm hoping this could be useful for your own children's sermon. And thank you for following the squirrels and all of that in this episode. All right. We will. Hey, oh, I almost forgot. Again, thank you for the love that you're sharing with your kids and your congregation and your families. You, my friend, are rocking it. We'll see you next week. Peace.